Hey, Auntie, there's someone on the second floor balcony.
My spine chilled at my 5-year-old niece's words. This was my son and daughter-in-law's newly built house. When I toured the house, I didn't see any figures like that. Outside had grown completely dark, but my son hadn't returned from work yet. There should only be 3 of us in this house: me, my niece, and my daughter-in-law. Then, my daughter-in-law started trembling uncontrollably. I felt a shiver too, but she wasn't afraid of seeing someone. Is there someone on the balcony? I wondered. Just then, my niece said,
Auntie, it's getting dark outside. Let's invite the balcony person inside.
And my daughter-in-law panicked.
What are you talking about? There can't be anyone on the balcony.
In the next moment, my niece slipped past my attempted grasp and sprinted up the stairs. My name is Linda, and I'm 58 years old. The milestone of turning 60 is approaching. I lost my husband early on, and since then, I've been living with my son, Alan. I obtained my certification as a judicial scrivener, and now I run a small office with a few staff members, having converted part of my home for this purpose. I couldn't pay much attention to my son, but he got married 6 months ago and moved out. His wife, Ali, is a bit younger than him. They met through mutual friends during their college days. Honestly, she's so beautiful that I wonder why she married my son. I vividly remember his bashful smile during their wedding. Then, I have a sister who is significantly younger than me. She and her husband struggled for a long time to conceive a child. Despite undergoing infertility treatments, it seemed hopeless. Eventually, they decided to adopt a child from a care facility. They welcomed a 5-year-old girl named Emma. She's bright and adorable, and she often visits my place. When my sister and her husband are busy, I step in as a surrogate parent. Emma sits quietly in a corner of my office, engrossed in picture books, which is a great help to me. My niece has an uncanny intuition or something mysterious about her. She'll suddenly say things like,
A visitor is coming soon, Auntie. An old man-like person.
She accurately predicts the age and gender of clients who visit my office. Or she'll announce,
It's going to rain soon. We need to bring in the laundry.
Once, while playing in the living room, she made such a statement, and right after that, heavy rain poured down. It's happened multiple times. Emma, how do you know these things? I asked her. She replied,
Well, it's like I can see them. I don't know why.
Apparently, she experiences sudden mental images or visions. Sometimes, she'll mention seeing an unknown man standing in a corner of the room and ask,
Who is that person?
Occasionally, she even says eerie things. Who could it be? I often laugh it off and say, maybe God is watching over Emma? One day, my son contacted me to visit their newly completed house. I would have preferred a leisurely visit in daylight, but due to our conflicting schedules, I ended up visiting on a weekday evening. I was supposed to watch over my niece until my sister picked her up. However, my sister called unexpectedly.
Sorry to bother you, but work came up suddenly, and Emma's pickup might be delayed.
I turned to my niece and said, Hey, Emma. Mom will be late. How about going with me to see the new house? Emma's eyes sparkled.
What? A new house? Yes, yes. I want to go.
It's my son's house. They just built it. I explained.
Your son?
Emma asked. Yes, my grown-up child. I replied.
Even though he's an adult, he's still a child. Interesting. Is he a carpenter, building the house?
No, the carpenters built it. He asked them to. I clarified. Chatting with a young child like this was delightful. As I approached my 60s, it felt like talking to a grandchild. I hoped my son would have children soon. I longed to see my own grandchild's face. With these thoughts, I held Emma's hand and headed to my son's house. I pressed the intercom button. From inside, I heard a flurry of noise, and then my daughter-in-law's voice came through the speaker.
Hello? Who is it?
I replied, "Oh, it's Linda. I've come to see the house." Alan mentioned it. Is he still at work? She hesitated, sounding flustered.
Yes, he is. Could you come back later? The place is still a bit messy.
I persisted. Well, you see, my little niece is with me. Could we take a quick look inside? If he doesn't return during that time, we'll leave. Reluctantly, she opened the door.
We just moved in, so it's quite messy. Please try not to go into unnecessary areas.
After emphasizing this, she invited me into the living room.
Who's this?
I introduced my niece. This is my sister's child, Emma.
Hello.
Emma greeted, smiling. My daughter-in-law raised an eyebrow.
Your sister's child? She seems too young to be your niece.
My sister's much younger than me. I replied hesitantly.
But from my husband's perspective, she's like a cousin, right? I hadn't heard anything about this.
My daughter-in-law persisted. Emma innocently smiled at my daughter-in-law.
I have a new mommy and daddy. Very happy.
Observing this, my daughter-in-law gave a glance that seemed to say,
Ah, I see.
Then she blurted out,
Was she an abandoned child? Or perhaps a victim of abuse? Either way, not a promising start in life, huh? It's amazing she'd willingly adopt a child like that. Personally, I'd never do it. I wouldn't want her anywhere near this house. No way.
She delivered these words with an air of distaste. Finally, she added,
Today, I suppose it can't be helped, but don't come here again. Oh, and since it's a new house, please refrain from touching or dirtying anything.
With that, she sternly instructed us. Despite my thoughts that such harsh words weren't necessary for a young child, I gathered my resolve and asked, Could you show us around, focusing on the areas we're allowed to see? She reluctantly led us to the kitchen. My daughter-in-law exclaimed,
Look at this. It's a kitchen island. My dream.
In the center, there was a microwave and a spacious cooking area, giving off a chic vibe. Apparently, she had custom-ordered this kitchen, and she took pride in it. The two-story new home felt open and quite spacious once we stepped inside. It's so roomy. Even if the family grows, I casually remarked. Hearing this, my daughter-in-law retorted,
Oh, no way. I'm not keen on having kids. I don't even like my own. let alone a child whose origins are unknown. Can you imagine?
She wrinkled her brow, managing a wry smile. What's the second floor like? I was about to climb the stairs when my daughter-in-law hurriedly blocked my way.
Oh. The second floor. Well, apart from the bedroom, it's a mess with unpacked moving boxes. I can't show you around right now. Could we do it another time?
She stammered. Just then, my niece piped up.
Hey! Who's on the second floor balcony?
The sun had set, and darkness enveloped the outside.
Emma, there's no one on the second floor. Why would you say that?
My daughter-in-law turned pale and trembled slightly.
Because it's getting dark outside, and we should bring them in before they catch a cold.
Emma innocently replied. Anxiety surged within me. Alan hasn't returned yet. Maybe we should call the police. What if it's a burglar? Cold sweat trickled down my back. If it truly was a thief, there were only 3 of us here.
No, it's fine. There's no one else besides us.
My daughter-in-law said, her voice shaky. But something was off. She seemed more desperate to hide something than genuinely frightened. In the next moment, my niece slipped past me and sprinted up the stairs. I hurriedly followed her. My daughter-in-law tried to stop us, but it was too late. In the entrance to the room facing the balcony, my niece stood frozen. Outside, darkness enveloped everything, and inside the room, scattered belongings made the footing uncertain. My daughter-in-law, who had climbed the stairs after us, pleaded.
I told you not to come up here. There's nothing, so just go back down.
Meanwhile, my niece managed to find the light switch, illuminating the area. She pointed to the corner of the balcony. Indeed, there was a figure huddled there. I instinctively grabbed a nearby golf club and cautiously approached the balcony. Who's there? I called out through the large window leading to the balcony. The huddled figure raised its face. A young man was there. He appeared to be in his 20s, a living human rather than a ghost. Who are you? Why are you here? I asked, but the man remained silent, glaring at me. Turning to my daughter-in-law, I inquired, Hey, Ali, who is this person? Why is he here? She replied frantically,
I don't know. How could I possibly know? Oh, he's probably a thief. Let's call the police.
It was strange. Just moments ago, she had dismissed the need for police. The word police seemed to trigger something in the man on the balcony. He was shouting in distress. The window was locked from the inside, preventing him from entering. Desperate, he pounded on the glass as if trying to break it. Suddenly, my son appeared behind me, his voice raised. He confronted the man outside on the balcony, pounding on the window glass.
Who are you? How did you get there? We've already reported you to the police. Behave.
My son demanded. At that moment, the man attempted to jump from the balcony. My son shouted,
Danger!
He unlocked the window and subdued the man. Despite the man's struggles, my son easily held him down. The slender man couldn't escape from my son's powerful grip.
Let go.
The man protested, but he was trapped.
There's no foothold. Nowhere you could have climbed from.
My son pressed, questioning the intruder. The man retorted,
I didn't climb. That woman inside let me in. She told me to hide on the second floor. But that wasn't enough. She even locked the door.
The man continued to struggle and shout. My son tightened his grip, questioning the man.
Are you talking about my wife?
The man retorted,
Your wife? Seriously?
He continued,
Then whose house is this?
ignoring the man's hostility. My son's anger flared.
This is my house. We just moved in recently. Who are you, and what's your connection to my wife?
My daughter-in-law denied any knowledge of the man.
I don't know him. I never let anyone in. Could he have broken in?
The man persisted.
What? That's not what you said. Weren't you married? You invited me to visit your new house. So why is this happening? Why am I caught up in this mess?
The man continued to shout angrily, glaring at my daughter-in-law. As the police arrived, the man was taken away. He shouted,
Wait. Listen. I was invited by that woman. I'm not trespassing. It's the truth.
Despite his protests, he was pushed into the patrol car. Long after the strange man was taken away by the police, my daughter-in-law muttered,
There are some really odd people out there. We need to be careful.
Her expression seemed oddly relieved, as if it were someone else's problem. My son confronted her.
Don't you know anything about that guy? Is it true?
She retorted,
Why are you asking me? Obviously, I don't know him.
My son pulled out a photo from his suit pocket and thrust it in front of her.
Then what's this?
The photo left my daughter-in-law speechless. It depicted the man from earlier, standing next to her.
You claim not to know him, but this says otherwise.
My son snapped. Suddenly, my daughter-in-law burst into laughter.
Caught, huh? I thought my plan would work. You did your research well, didn't you?
She chuckled, seemingly impressed. My son couldn't hide his frustration.
The bank balance kept dwindling, and no matter how much I gave you, you claimed there was never enough money. So, I decided to investigate.
The man on the balcony turned out to be a bartender from the bar my daughter-in-law frequented. Apparently, they had been secretly meeting behind my son's back. My son's anger flared.
You pretended to live lavishly, luring in young men. And you're single, so why the lies? What's the problem?
In response, my daughter-in-law laughed mockingly.
Problem? Everything except money. Did you really think a guy like you, an overweight 30-something, could keep someone like me? Please. I prefer handsome young men. I wouldn't be with you without the cash.
She chuckled, unapologetic. After taking a deep breath, my son blurted out,
Fine, I get it. Can you leave? We're through, and I want a divorce. I even have a private investigator's report. I can't be with you anymore. I don't want to. I never thought you'd be like this.
My daughter-in-law retorted,
Leave? This is my house too. No way. I finally got the life I wanted.
My son, frustrated, responded.
Do whatever you want. I'm leaving today. Mom, I hate to ask, but could I stay at your place tonight?
As his mother, I had no reason to refuse.
Mom, I'm sorry, but I'm selling this house. Despite it being newly completed, I can't live in a house built to her taste. The land and building are in my name, and I'm the one who took out the loan. Could you handle the paperwork?
Although he might have intended to intimidate his wife, I was equally surprised by his words. I asked my son, "Are you sure about this?" As a professional, I can prepare the necessary documents. Hearing this, my daughter-in-law retorted,
Sell this house? I want to live here. After all, I designed it for that purpose. Spare me that, at least.
She was as self-centered as ever.
If you want to keep living here, buy it from me and refinance the loan. You designed this house to your liking, so pay for it yourself.
My son firmly declared.
If that's the case, I'll have to work. I thought I could enjoy living in this brand new house.
My daughter-in-law added lazily,
Don't mention divorce. Can you really find another wife like me? Maybe you won't be able to get married again? But that's fine, right?
It seems she's quite confident in her appearance.
Hey, Auntie. There's an old man in the corner of the room, staring at us. It's scary.
My niece clings to me, her fear palpable. It wasn't because of the argument between adults. There seemed to be something more to it. Where, Emma? Where is he? Unable to see, I ask Emma.
Right there. He's standing right there. Can't you see him?
Emma pleads with urgency.
What's wrong with this child? Don't try to scare us. We won't fall for that.
Despite her words, my daughter-in-law scans the room nervously. I feel a shiver down my spine. Could there really be something there? I wonder aloud.
No way. It's creepy. You think I'd fall for this trick just because you want me out?
As my daughter-in-law screamed, the stacked moving boxes tumbled down, trapping her underneath. My son rushed to free her. Although she didn't appear seriously injured, she had lost consciousness.
Call an ambulance. Quickly.
My son shouted. Startled, I snapped back to reality. Something vague caught my eye behind the boxes, and everything seemed to move in slow motion. The ambulance arrived, and my son accompanied his wife. As a couple, it was inevitable. My niece clung to me, frightened.
Auntie, is that person okay? The man knocked over the boxes. He looked really angry and scary.
Emma, where is he? Can you still see him? I asked, but Emma shook her head.
No, he's gone somewhere. Where could he have disappeared to?
I pondered. Who knows? Maybe he's punishing that wicked woman for us. A strange thought crossed my mind. Perhaps the shadow was my late husband, angered by the parasitic behavior of my daughter-in-law, seeking retribution on our behalf. It's getting late. Maybe we should head home? Mom might be worried, I suggested, holding my niece's hand. We left the now empty house. As we walked away, I felt as though someone on the balcony was waving goodbye. But when I looked back, there was no one there. After being rushed to the hospital, my daughter-in-law remained unconscious for 3 days, plagued by nightmares. Despite thorough examinations that revealed no abnormalities, the doctors were baffled. When she finally regained consciousness, she expressed fear and a desire for a swift divorce, adamant about not returning to that house. The young man taken away by the police, as my daughter-in-law claimed, was indeed a bartender. He had merely accepted her invitation to visit. However, being abruptly expelled from the balcony, he now vowed to retaliate legally. My daughter-in-law was apparently boasting to that man that she was a wealthy bachelorette. The man, in turn, believed it completely due to her extravagant lifestyle and the newly built house. Apparently, they had been secretly meeting for quite some time, unbeknownst to my son. All these revelations came to light through the private investigator's report. Now, with the help of an acquaintance who is a lawyer, we're preparing divorce mediation documents. It's ironic that my own son has become a client, but since we're blameless in this situation, I believe we can claim compensation for the inconvenience caused. We'll ensure justice is served. After building the new home, he unfortunately decided to put it up for sale. I worried that a custom-built house might not sell easily, but surprisingly, he found a buyer quickly, and he managed to clear most of the remaining mortgage. My son is currently staying with me while he looks for his next place. Although he claims he won't get married anytime soon, I secretly hope for grandchildren soon.
Auntie, who's this?
My visiting niece found an old photo of my late husband and asked me. That's my husband. Niece nonchalantly replied.
I remember him from that time, standing in the corner of the room.
Perhaps my husband is still watching over us, I thought, gazing up at the sky through the window.
How did you find this story? If you enjoyed it, consider subscribing to our channel. Until next time.